Madrid, a royal city full of spacious parks, rich art collections, and one of the highest capitals in Europe. Here, elegant mansions and historic townhouses combine with the modern atmosphere of the European metropolis. This video will take you to Madrid. We will eat the most popular churros in Spain, see the largest royal palace in Western Europe, visit the Golden Triangle of art, discover the oldest building in Madrid, and much more. Enjoy a visit to Madrid. We will start our tour of Madrid at the Puerta del Sol Square, the name of which means Gate of the Sun. This is one of the most famous squares in the city and the true heart of Madrid. It's also the center of Spain, marked by Kilometer Zero, from which distances to other Spanish cities are measured. A plaque symbolizing Kilometer Zero is embedded in the sidewalk in front of the Real Casa de Correos building, which once housed the post office. Many tourists also visit the Puerta del Sol because of the popular neon sign advertising Tío Pepe, which is listed in the Register of Historic Places. The advertisement for this popular wine was placed on the Hotel Paris building in the first half of the 20th century. After the hotel was closed and sold, the new owner took down the advertisement, but as a result of a petition from residents, it was returned to its place. The Puerta del Sol Square also features a sculpture of a bear climbing Arbutus Berry. Its image can be seen in the city's coat of arms. The Puerta del Sol Square is also the site of many important events. Various demonstrations are held here, as well as a lavish New Year's Eve party. Madrid's first metro line was also opened at the Puerta del Sol in 1919. Is there a better place to start exploring the Spanish capital? Not far from the Puerta del Sol Square is the Plaza Mayor, an elegant square with a history of more than 400 years. It is the legacy of the Habsburg family who contributed to the development of the city. When King Philip II moved the capital from Toledo to Madrid in 1561, he decided to create a representative space on the site of the marketplace that once stood in the Plaza Mayor. His successor, King Philip III, completed his father's work, and it is his statue that stands in the middle of the square. Plaza Mayor has witnessed many important events, such as coronations, executions, and bullfights. Today, the Plaza Mayor is an elegant place full of cafes and restaurants. Of particular note is the facade of the building Casa de la Panadería, which is covered with paintings. San Miguel Market is a mix of colors and flavors. It is a luxurious food market with tapas in a modern twist, which come from different corners of Spain. This market also offers a wide selection of different foods, including seafood, cheeses, wines, and much more. Mercado de San Miguel began as a food market in the early 20th century. Particularly noteworthy is the building's cast iron structure and roof decorated with a ridge. Churros are a traditional Spanish pastry made from deep, pressed dough that is dipped in warm chocolate. The most famous place to try this delicacy is Chocolateria de San Ginés, which has been open daily for about 130 years. Queues line up here every hour, but Chocolateria has several locations, so you probably will not have to wait long. We recommend ordering classic churros con chocolate for 2 people because the churros are greasy and the chocolate, although dark, is thick and quite sweet. If you are a fan of antiques, vintage, and handicrafts, or just like places with a vibe, you should definitely check out the El Rastro market, which opens every Sunday on the streets of the La Latina neighborhood. This is the oldest flea market in Madrid, dating back to the 15th century. Here you can buy antiques and all sorts of interesting items, as well as sit in one of the establishments that have Spanish tapas on offer. These are small snacks that accompany wine, beer, or other beverages. Their origin is related to the drinking of wine. Spaniards used to cover their glass with a slice of dry sausage to protect its contents from flies. This is because the word tapas means lid or cover. Nowadays, tapas is more than dry sausage, as variations on the theme are indeed plentiful. However, tapas is primarily an excuse to meet with friends. If you enjoy our videos, leave a like and subscribe, as it will help us grow the channel. Palacio Real, or Royal Palace, is the largest royal palace in Western Europe and one of the largest in the entire world. It has more than 3,000 rooms and is almost twice the size of the Palace of Versailles or Buckingham Palace. It was built by the Habsburgs on the site of the old Alcazar, which burned down in a fire. In the 18th century, Philip V Bourbon rebuilt it in the Baroque style. The royal palace was built on a square plan with an inner courtyard, which is surrounded by galleries. The halls, which were used in the past by the chieftains and kings, on whom the fate of all Europe depended, are open to the public. The halls represent the Rococo and Classicist styles. They are decorated with frescoes, Spanish marbles, and gilded stucco. There are numerous works of art painted by Goya or Velázquez, among others. There is also the possibility of free entry at certain times, but you should check the official website for up-to-date information and be aware that there are a lot of people willing to enter. It is also worth knowing that every Wednesday and Saturday, a ceremonial guard shift takes place in front of the palace. There is one at the Puerta del Príncipe. In July and August, it begins at 10 o'clock and the rest of the year at 11 o'clock. Next to the royal palace stretches the 19th century Plaza de Oriente. Along the streets, there are statues of Spanish kings placed. On the eastern side of the plaza stands the edifice of the Teatro Real, or Royal Theatre, where the works of the most prominent composers such as Rossini and Wagner were presented. Opposite the royal palace is the Cathedral of Our Lady of Almudena, with 2 tall towers. Its construction began in the 19th century, although it had been planned since the 16th century. It was completed in 1993 and features a neoclassical style. Entry to the cathedral is free and can be found in the back of the building. Its interior is quite austere and resembles a medieval church with stained glass windows and painted vaults. It is also possible to climb to the dome of the cathedral, from where you can enjoy a panoramic view of the city. There is a combined ticket for the vantage point with entry to the Cathedral Museum, where you can see exhibits related to the history of the cathedral. The oldest building in Madrid is an Egyptian temple dating back to the 2nd century before our era. It was originally built in Debod on the Nile and only stood in Madrid in the second half of the 20th century. It was a gift that Egypt gave to Spain for its help in saving the temples in Nubia. The temple consists of a main building and 2 gates. The oldest part is the chapel, decorated with reliefs, which has been preserved in its original state. The Debod Temple is open to the public and is located in the Park de la Montana. There is also a vantage point that offers views of the Royal Palace, the cathedral, and Madrid's largest city park, the Casa de Campo. The place looks most beautiful during sunset. The most popular and representative street in Madrid is the Gran Via, which begins at the Plaza de España. In the square, you can see the statue of Miguel de Cervantes, Spain's most famous writer, who wrote Don Quixote, among others. Near the square stand 2 skyscrapers, the Torre de Madrid and the Edificio España, which has a viewpoint. Gran Via is full of stores, restaurants, hotels, theaters, which are housed in beautiful buildings. You can go here for exclusive shopping, but not only. After all, one of the most beautiful and largest Primarks in Europe is located here. Gran Via stretches all the way to the Edificio Metropolis building, which is topped by a dome with golden ornaments. On its top is placed a winged statue of Victoria. Plaza de Cibeles is one of the most recognizable places in Madrid. It is a square that is also a busy intersection. Its name comes from Fuente de Cibeles, a fountain with a statue of the goddess that stands in the middle of the square. The protector of fertility holds a scepter in one hand and the key to the city gates in the other. She sits on a chariot drawn by 2 lions. At the square stands the imposing Palacio de Cibeles building. It houses the city office, post office, and cultural center. There is also a lookout point on one of the palace's towers. Interestingly, it is on the Plaza de Cibeles that Real Madrid fans pompously celebrate their team's victory. Automobile traffic is then halted. Madrid is a city of museums, showcasing works by artists like Goya, Velázquez, El Greco, and Picasso. The Paseo del Prado area is home to the Golden Triangle of Art, which includes 3 museums: the Prado Museum, Thyssen-Bornemisza Museum, and the National Museum of the Queen Sofia Art Center. If you plan to visit all 3 museums, it is worth purchasing the Paseo del Arte Pass. The pass is valid for 1 year and allows 1 entry to each of the establishments. It is also worth knowing that all 3 museums offer free entry on certain days and times. We will start our tour of the Golden Triangle of Art with the Prado Museum. It includes the largest collection of Spanish paintings with outstanding works that have been collected by successive kings over the centuries. The Prado also includes Italian, Flemish, Dutch, French, British, and German works. There are more than 8,000 paintings in total, as well as drawings, prints, sculptures, and numismatic collections. The most popular works that can be seen at the Prado are Velázquez's Maidens of the Court, Rubens' Three Graces, Raphael's Holy Family, and Bosch's Garden of Earthly Delights. In addition, the museum has one of the largest collections of works by Goya and Velázquez. The queue in front of the Prado Museum grows as early as 7 o'clock because every day from 6 to 8 o'clock visits to the museum are free. The second establishment forming the Golden Triangle of Art is the Thyssen-Bornemisza Museum, which houses about 1,000 works collected by the barons of the Thyssen-Bornemisza family. This is one of the world's most important private collections, which covers European painting from the 13th to the 20th centuries, including works representing Impressionism, Expressionism, Surrealism, pop art, and many other styles. The museum features works by artists such as Rubens, Goya, Van Gogh, Picasso, Dali, and Monet. The Queen Sofia Art Center Museum is a must-see position for contemporary art lovers. Its main part is located in the former Hospital General building. In the museum's collection, you will find rooms dedicated to the works of famous Spanish painters such as Pablo Picasso, Salvador Dali, and Joan Miró. The most popular work that can be seen in the museum is Pablo Picasso's Guernica, which was assigned for the World Exposition held in 1937 in Paris. At the Paseo del Prado is the Caixa Forum, which is a cultural center housed in a restored old power plant. It is worth coming up here because of the interesting shape of this building, as well as the vertical garden that has been added to its facade. Mercado Antón Martín is a local market where you can eat and buy fresh products. There are fish, meat, fruit, and vegetable stands on 2 floors, as well as bakeries, cafes, and small restaurants with cuisine from different parts of the world. Puerta de Alcalá in the past was one of the main gates leading into the city. Decorated with numerous ornaments and sculptures, it welcomed monarchs as well as other important visitors. Today, it is one of the most distinctive places near Retiro Park. After an intensive tour of the Spanish capital and its many museums, it is time to relax. Near the Golden Triangle of Art is the Retiro Park, which in the past served as a royal garden, so it is really beautiful here. Even more than 100 years ago, kings used to stroll through here. Today, it is an ideal place to relax, frequented by tourists and locals alike. There are as many as 18,000 trees and 7,000 shrubs on an area of over 120 hectares. The heart of this park is the beautiful Crystal Palace, inspired by British glass palaces. It serves as an orangery with exotic plants and an exhibition area. Nearby, you can also find the Velázquez Palace, which is a branch of the Queen Sofia Art Center and hosts free temporary exhibitions. Next to the palace is a picturesque pond where you can take a boat ride. There is also an impressive statue of King Alfonso XII of Spain. Also worth visiting in the park is the Paseo de las Estatuas, an alley along which sculptures of Spanish monarchs are arranged. Can a train station be a tourist attraction? Yes, provided we are talking about Madrid. The largest train station in Spain includes not only ticket offices and platforms, but also a tropical garden with exotic plants and a pond. Waiting for a train sounds quite pleasant under such circumstances. For football fans, the biggest attraction of Madrid is undoubtedly the opportunity to watch a match or visit the famous Santiago Bernabéu Stadium. It can hold up to 80,000 spectators, making it one of the largest stadiums in Europe. It was recently renovated, giving it its current modern look. The interior of the stadium can be seen during a match, but also during a tour. The tour includes, among others, a visit to the stands, the substitutes bench, the locker room, and the conference room. There is also an exhibition available at the stadium, introducing the history of Real Madrid and showing the trophies it has won. While visiting Spain, it is hard not to encounter the controversial corrida, which is an essential part of Spanish culture. In Madrid, the largest bullfighting arena in the country, which can accommodate nearly 25,000 spectators, is open to the public. Built in the neo-Moorish style, the Las Ventas Arena is less than a century old. It has 19 gates and is decorated with ceramic tiles and emblems of the Spanish provinces. During your visit, you can enter the arena and visit the museum, which presents the history of corrida, as well as the costumes and props of the bullfighters. It is worth knowing that corridas are still held in the arena. Finally, we will visit one more Madrid museum, which is very atmospheric and less well known than the museums of the Golden Triangle of Art. Upon entering Sorolla's house, we are taken back in time to the turn of the 19th century, when this Spanish impressionist lived and worked here. In the Sorolla Museum, we can see atmospheric interiors, original furniture, paintings on the walls, as well as a small patio and garden. The exhibition includes about 250 canvases and drawings by the artist, who is often called the painter of light. He gained popularity for his marine paintings and scenes of village life. Hopefully, with this video, you will plan a successful trip to Madrid. We also encourage you to subscribe to the Experience Countries channel to stay updated with our upcoming videos.